long today because honestly, my calendar building each month doesn't take long once you get in the groove of it. I think more so today's call is going to be more along the lines of just giving you guys the freedom and reminding you that this is your business and you get to do what you want with it. And when you kind of start taking that ownership, but also freedom to like grab onto it and remember that it's not like, yes, I've started this team and yes, I do my things my certain way, but I'm kind of I want you guys to start to lean into the freedom that this business gets to look the way you want it to look. I actually was talking to a friend who is in a different MLM just a couple days ago. She's new to this MLM, and so I've been just kind of supporting her because, you know, one thing she has said, she's like, "Thank you so much. Like, even though our businesses are totally different," and I was like, "Girl, like, just because I help you shine brighter doesn't make me shine less." And so, one thing I was really learning though is the team culture is very much. Everyone just does what their upline says. From their team name is just their upline's team name. And it kind of made me sad because I thought, gosh, like that's my favorite thing about this is yes, we're all team grind and shine, but every single one of you have the power to be your own business. And yes, I might, you know, sprinkle the knowledge and help you guys learn and grow, and you're always part of team grind and shine, but you get to be you too. And so I think that's something I take with a lot of pride. And for me, when this business really started becoming fun was when I made it mine. Because even though I was really great friends with my upline, who when she worked this bit, I mean, we're still great friends, but when she was coaching, one thing we found was like we run our businesses differently. We have different interests. You know, she was big into like she was, I mean, I'm a baseball mom too, but like she was very much like her son was in a very different level of baseball. And so that really consumed their life. And that just wasn't my interest level at the time. You know, X was still in little league, you know, and so it wasn't as intense. And just interest levels and the way we run groups can really shift when you start to allow yourself to have fun with it. So enough rambling. Let's get to it. I'm going to, hold on. I want to hit present. Let me see if this will go. And then where'd you guys go? Hold on. I've lost your faces. I'm trying to, there we go. I got to share my screen first. All right, now we're going to present. Present. All right, so today we're going to just dig into making the monthly calendar, how I set mine up, what things I do every single month to kind of just give myself guidelines to keep me going. Because one thing, you know, that you can do in the beginning is just, you know, yes, it's important to focus on Success Club, but if you find yourself like struggling to hit Success Club, or maybe it waiting, you know, kind of that panic at the end of the month of like, oh my gosh, am I going to do it? So I'm going to just kind of give you guys some tips and things that have worked for me in shifting my business. But first, I have a super exciting announcement. The Summer Strong Sale was extended. Guys, challenge packs are going to still be $20 off all of June. Like, Beachbody has never done this before. Normally, they do this sale May and January, or May and November, like those 2 months. I've never seen it extend to this cheap of a price, and they're doing this for multiple reasons. One, because there was such a influx in product and the shipping issues, it just, Beachbody is always works very hard to be very fair. And this was one way they were able to do this, because they weren't necessarily able to give everyone that wanted certain products at certain times with Recover, now Hydrate. So they are extending this sale, and I am so freaking excited because it really just shows that there's no excuse that people can't get started on their health journey. I mean, for so freaking cheap, it's insane. And those of you who are still in your new coach window of those first 3 months, you're still getting those $10 off codes. And the way those codes will be shipped to you or sent to you is whatever date you signed up. So if you signed up on March 15th, those codes will come to you May 15th or June 15th. Or so that was one thing. I never received this promotion for new coaches just started in the last 6 months, last year. And so I'm still on that learning curve of like, wait, how do these codes work? Because that wasn't something that I was given. So it's really awesome. So keep that in mind, because for those of you that have those, you can get people set for the healthiest freaking year of their life for $130, which just blows my mind, that's the basic challenge pack. With not where it's down to 140 and then knocking that extra 10. So super, super exciting news there, because it just makes those follow-ups and conversations so much smoother, especially when people right now are climbing out of, this worry. The pandemic is not ending, but people are going back to work and life is starting to function. And so being able to save people more while they're still getting their feet on the ground is even more rewarding. All right, so we are going to dig into this, and I am going to make the screen smaller so one thing's first. I am going to make my calendar and show you guys what I do on the computer, but please don't think that I use my computer. Like, I'm a paper and pencil girl through and through. My calendar is on a piece of paper. When I'm messing around and I don't want to I'm just kind of scribbling, and I don't want to actually write dates down, I will even print. I just go to Google printable calendar. Canva has some, but they're not as, I just want a blank, solid black lines, like a clear space to write on. So sometimes I'll even just print one of these that you see on the screen, and then kind of get my rough draft out, and then put the final numbers in my actual calendar that I keep in front of me at all times. So the first thing that I want you guys to really be intentional about in your every single month is know that you always want to have something that you can invite to. Why? Because if you have something to invite to, then inviting to this doesn't seem as, I guess, haphazard. When you're inviting to something and you know what it is that's planned and when it's going to be, it makes sending out those invitations a lot easier. And it also makes the excitement of filling your group kind of level up a bit. So for me personally, I host challenge groups every 3 weeks. Not all coaches do that. My coach, Lindsay Matway, she runs hers from the 1st of the month to the 30th of the month. What I found for me, though, in order to hit my goals comfortably and to keep them comfortably moving, 3-week groups work for me. That way, every 3 weeks, I have something that I'm inviting to that's challenge group wise. But I don't have to wait until the group starts. I can start talking about it in that 2-week, week and a half window of, hey, I'm enrolling for my upcoming virtual boot camp. Or if I make an announcement like, all right, this, summer kickoff is open for enrollment. And so it allows me to comfortably talk and start sharing about when I'm inviting or when I'm opening up my business. So the first thing you're going to want to think about is, when is your boot camp starting? So for me, my boot camp is starting, if I can type, is going to be starting June 8th. We're currently in one. And my next boot camp will be June 8th. And then it is going to end. It's going to be a 3-week boot camp. So it's going to end on the 27th, 28th. And my next boot camp will start June 29th. Now, what this does, think about this goal-wise. If my goal every month is to hit Success Club, now that I've been coaching longer, I set higher goals. Zane challenged me to SC75 this month. not hitting it, but I'm pretty dang close, and it gave me some, not pretty dang close, closer than I've ever been before, we'll put it that way. But it gives me something to always keep my business pushing forward. So if your goal is SC5 or SC10 or 15, and you have a boot camp that's starting on the 8th, that means you need 3 people to join in that boot camp or 5 people to join into that boot camp. If you don't hit that mark, which it's fine, guys, nobody's going to be mad at you if you don't hit your goals. Nobody's mad at me. Although Zane said he's going to kick me out if I don't hit 75. No, I'm totally kidding. But nobody's going to be mad at me if I don't hit 75. I was just challenging myself, and I was just leveling up to see if I could do it. But in the meantime of doing it, I hit another personal record. And so that's kind of how this business grows. If you have things to invite to and you miss that mark, you set another boot camp up in that month so that you can invite to that boot camp. That way, there's no way you can't hit your June goals because you have 2 boot camps that you're inviting to. So that is my number 1 key, is know when you're going to have your boot camp. And if you're not ready to start hosting your boot camp right now, you see my dates. So these are my 2 dates for June. Invite to these. There is no right or wrong to this business. There is no rules unless you're the one that makes these rules. All right. So that is, sorry, clicked a button. That is the very first thing I do every single month, is figure out what I am going to be doing for boot camps. All right. The next thing that I do is I set Success Club goals. Now, your Success Club goals are not going to be the same as my Success Club goals, and that is okay. So for me, my one thing I always do is I always want to be at Success Club 5 by the 5th. That's my number 1 goal. Then to push my business forward and to hit the income goals that I set for myself to help, make sure my bills are paid for and, support my family. My goal is to repeat that every single week. If I hit higher, then if I hit higher, then that's great. So I'm just going to show you guys what my calendar looks like. This is actually what I do every month. SC5, 10, 15, 20, and I do check marks. And then after I hit 20, that's when I start to like challenge myself. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get to this, or let me see if I can get to that. So then I'll do SC10, 15, and 20. So what this does for me though is every week it allows me to not coast. It allows me to make sure that I am doing my vitals. It allows me to make sure that I am showing up for myself, because if I set SC5 as my minimum for this coming Friday, you bet your butt 1 through 4, I'm going to be sharing and talking about this opportunity. I'm going to be making sure that I am talking to people and showing what this does for me. Now, another thing to keep in mind is your social media. So if I'm hosting a June boot camp, my social media I'm not going to start talking about this boot camp on the day that it starts. I'm going to be talking about this boot camp during this first week, during the week prior. I'm going to start talking about it and letting people know that this is up and coming and this is what they can do. So with your social media, kind of keep in mind, and I do this, I actually track, I'll talk to you guys in just a minute. I'm really leaning in and putting some focus on my social media because I want to grow just my reach in the sense of my people that listen to me versus people that are just following, but people that are actually that I can help. But one thing to keep in mind is start jotting down what you're going to be talking about on your social media. That too will keep you from being all over the place. So in this, I'll be talking about my boot camp. And then in the following week, I will really shift it and I will start talking about coaching. And I try to, like, my posts are always, when I write my post, I kind of have like a flow that I do. But in the regards to my Instagram stories or Facebook stories, I'm intentional about what I'm inviting to, like, right now. So for example, right now I'm talking about my Almost Heaven boot camp, or not boot camp, Almost Heaven mentorship. So I've been talking more to women who are from West Virginia that, you know, I'm looking to serve in this month. Now in June, in July, my mentorship might be totally different. And actually, funny story, Caitlin Harmon's on here. Yeah. So I will never forget when Caitlin's from Tennessee. And when she started coaching, I was hosting it was my very first Almost Heaven mentorship, where I just kind of kept it to West Virginia people. And the next month I did a poll that was like, should I keep it West Virginia people? And Caitlin in that poll was like, no, I would have been. And I remember that. And so, you know, yes, I'm being super specific for the month of June, but the month of July, the gates are going to be open, and I'm going to be, you know, sharing with a different form of my people, because our whole team's not a West Virginia team. It's just right now, I know that West Virginia needs this, and that can be, you know, that's why I'm focusing on that now. But don't think that it's going to be like a forever thing. But I always remember Caitlin, I was like, when she messaged me, like, no, don't do a West Virginia one. Like, I want to be in this one. All right. So the next one, social media boot camp. Okay. Social media, I'll talk about coaching, boot camp, and then it just rotates. Just so I'm kind of keeping myself in check. Actually, this one will no, here we go. I'm going to change that. Boot camp. And I will probably do a 2-week coaching, just so it's, because I'll be inviting to the boot camp. During this time, I am not writing it down yet because I still need to talk to Courtney. But Courtney and I run our coach sneak peeks together. So we will plan out our dates of when our coaching sneak peeks will be. They will most likely be within one of these 2 weeks. So it'll be something inviting to the coaching opportunity to check it out. All right, next thing that I wanted to talk about is, hold on, what's the next thing? Hold on, let me look. Oh yeah, the new coach call. So every second Monday of the month, I have a new coach call, which you guys have all, you know, been on it. You see it posted, but I always make sure to put that in my calendar, because one, when I know that call is coming, I can make sure that I reach out to all my new coaches. Same for you. If you've added on new coaches, that way you can give them a heads up of when that call is going to be. Then of course, every Saturday, team call. Why is that important? Because one, team calls, obviously you're getting some form of training, but two, this is a really great opportunity to start, you know, this gives you guys all a reason to talk about coaching today on your social media. We'll do our boomerang at the end. You guys can post about it. You can say that this is what we do on Saturday mornings to learn and to grow. And so it's super important to be present on your team call, and expect that team call, make it, you know, a priority in your business, because it's also giving you an opportunity to share with others that this is a business. This isn't just playing around. You know, we're taking our business just as seriously as we're taking our health, and we can help people do both. All right. The last thing that I was going to talk to you guys about what's the word I'm thinking? I'm trying something out. So I don't know if you guys saw, I shared on on our team page, it was a call from Ashley Smith. So Ashley Smith is a successful Beachbody coach. I believe last year or the year before, she was in the top 10, maybe both years. She also has her own headband company called the B Brand. So she's very much like dominating her social media. And so she did this training that was shared in this group that I'm in. And it's a training for Julie Boris's team, who is another successful coach. And she kind of just went through how she's really shifting her social media and making sure that it's a platform to be there for people and to provide value to people. And that's something I've wanted to really focus on. And I'm going to be making a shift and really just following her steps in the month of June in regards to my social media being a place where people can actually come and get value. I always think there's a quote that Lindsay Matway said a couple months back, but she said, is your social media saying, look at me or learn from me? And I always want to be in that learn from me category. That way people, they come because they want to see what I can give them. And then, in the sense of our business, that makes people respect you. Well, okay, if she can give me this much now, what kind of value is she going to provide, from the groups and from the tools that she actually helps people get access to. So that's kind of like what I'm shifting in. And so if you haven't watched that video, I really suggest it if you're in a space that you're comfortable growing and building your social media. If you're still a new coach and you're just still trying to get your bearings, please don't let trainings like that overwhelm you. Please don't let, what others, the chapter that other people are in prevent you from being in your chapter, because this is a process. This is something that evolves with you and as your business. And right now, I'm 3.5 years in, and I'm like, okay, I need to level up my social media. And so that's what I'm going to spend the month of June for me personally. So you might see some like different ways that I'm posting and learn from it. And I will share, what I've found and what I'm kind of gathering from it. But one thing that she shares is to kind of break your month down in it is 10 it's 15 posts that provide value, so valuable or like sharing, 10 posts that are more attention grabbing, whether it's a funny quote or some type of tip. She in the video she breaks it down, like the different types of like attention grabbing ones. She calls them viral, but like 10 different over the month, 10 posts that kind of pull people into your personality, and then 5 posts that are call to action, meaning come do this with me. So I'm going to really organize and kind of space out my social media. And my plan is then to you guys in the month of July, I'm going to bring to you everything that I found from it, everything that I learned. I'm going to be tracking the growth of my followers and the growth of my story views. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be shifting into the month of June and will be bringing to you guys. But if you want to kind of participate in that and start learning through it with me, because that's exactly what it is. I'm learning through it. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I can't imagine that it will hurt anything, giving people value, like being more of a light. I can't imagine that'll hurt anything, but just know that I'm pulling everything from the training that I shared in the team page. If you haven't seen it, I think if you type in, like if you go to Team Grind and Shine, well, I can actually just show you. Hold on. You go to Team Grind and Shine, and then sometimes sometimes we'll go into the search bar. Let's see, this is going to even pop up. There we go. All right. Maybe. Hold on. What did I think I said level up. This is how I search for things all the time. There we go. Level up your social media. Rise Up Rockstar social media training. It was amazing. It's long, but guys, I have watched it twice now and I've taken pages of notes. It is so valuable. And it really allows you, my favorite thing about it is it allows you to really see the purpose of this business is to help others and to lean in and be a servant and not just always ask, ask, ask. That is a big shift. If the only time you're coming on to social media is saying buy a challenge pack for me, then that's when you lose people. And so it's about building relationships and not saying buy a challenge pack for me, but look at all this stuff that I'm providing you. And now the paid version is even better. The paid version is going to change your life even more. So that's a big shift I'll be taking, and you guys are more than welcome to come along on the ride, but I would just know I will be sharing everything that I learned from it in the month of July. I'm going to be tracking like crazy for June just to see what comes from it. So other than that, that is what I do with my calendar every single month. Every single month I set my Success Club goals, and I live up to them. Like, don't just set the goals and then not put in the work for it. Like, if I set Success Club 5 by the 5th, you bet my name will be on that board on the 8th when I post it on the team page with my goal hit, because I do that for myself and I do that for you guys to show that it's possible and to show that the only time you have a ceiling in this business is the ceiling you set for yourself. You can grow as much as you want, but just kind of giving yourself, I play games with myself. I do the same thing with my meal plan. Like, okay, Lauren, if you eat your veggies first, then you can have that piece of pizza, right? Lauren, okay, you can open up a seltzer in the evening, but you better chug your 20 ounces of water first. I play games with myself all the time to help my success in my health, but also in my business. My business runs like this. If I don't hit SC5 by the 5th, I am like, you probably won't hear from me on the team page, because I am working my business, because I'm here to show up for it. And I show up for myself, but also for you guys to show that it's possible. So that is all I have. Does anyone have any questions about it? I'm more than happy to answer questions about setting your calendar. Again, I don't do it on the computer. I do it on paper pencil when I share the computer part with you. It's more or less just for you guys. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and do our team boomerang. Oh, someone unmuted. Did you have a question? All right. Okay. Everyone, give me a wave. Love it. All right, guys. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will post this recording on the team page. Chat with you guys later. Bye.